Duncanville down to the, say, Bibb County line over the next several minutes or so. And again, that potential tornado will be coming out here across northern Bibb County. And again, this will likely stay a little to the south of Vance. Vance is here. Coaling is here. This is the end of this polygon. The polygon is not drawn out to a long length here because this is not expected to be a long-lasting tornado. In a situation like this, these things typically are short-lived and they just don't last for a long time. But a tornado is a tornado. So these are approximate arrival times of this tornado for some of the communities here in the far southern part of Tuscaloosa County, the northern part of Bibb County. You've got Vance noted here at 10:40. And again, for now, Vance is not in this polygon. But if it extends out later, you could be. Bibbville, you got Woodstock, you've got Green Pond up and through here, Bibbville, Caffey Junction, Vance, all of these places. Just watch this. You're not in the polygon yet. But once again, based on that lowered correlation coefficient product right there, that is the evidence we see of a potential tornado. And this is embedded in a long line of storms on the western side of the state. And that line itself, again, could produce strong, damaging straight line winds at any spot. But this is this one spot where there could possibly be a tornado here. So if you're just joining us, we are in tornado coverage now at 10:19 for the possibility of a tornado that is now near U.S. Highway 82, just about 3 or 4 miles southeast of the town of Duncanville. That'll be moving up through the far, far, far eastern part of Tuscaloosa County. And we'll see if that lowered CC hangs in place here. If you're in Hale County, the danger is over for you. And again, Taylor showing Tuscaloosa, Northport, University of Alabama. You're not close to this, not close at all. So again, if you're in the city of Tuscaloosa, yes, the weather is horrible. You've got rain and wind, but it's not related to the tornado. Let's quickly pop the big picture on here, Taylor. I want to show what we have here. And again, we've got this long line of severe storms in West Alabama stretching from near Haleyville and Double Springs in Winston County down to Eldridge in Walker County, then down to about Fayette and Berry, then curving through Tuscaloosa. And then the other segment extends from the eastern part of Tuscaloosa County down through parts of Bibb, Perry, and Marengo counties. So again, anywhere within that line, we could see strong straight line winds that could gust as high as 50, 60, maybe 70 miles per hour in spots. Our sky watcher at Ethelsville here, when the line came through, had a wind gust of 52 miles an hour. And that's a good sign of what you might experience if you're within this line. And again, this will be in the Birmingham metro here within the next hour or so. So I just wanted to be sure that you know that this is part of a long line of storms, and multiple counties are currently under severe thunderstorm warnings. And the warnings would include parts of Walker, Winston, Fayette, Tuscaloosa, Bibb, Perry, Hale, Marengo, and Dallas counties for that line of storms. So let's go back into our tornado warning here. And again, that's that flashing red polygon that you see. And again, now for everybody in the back, if we can be sure that we are live on Facebook and YouTube so that folks around the state can watch us, or folks can watch us easily on their phone. This is your tornado warning polygon you see here. And again, this is for the extreme southeastern part of Tuscaloosa County. And again, you can see a couple of areas of rotation here. And quite frankly, it's hard to identify one that's dominant at this point. And notice on the correlation coefficient product, or the debris tracker, we've kind of lost that signature here. So for a little bit, we had a TDS, a tornado debris signature. At the moment, it's gone. And again, like we talked about, within a line like this, we have potential for maybe an isolated brief tornado. We talked about that going into the night. We don't expect a big problem with tornadoes tonight, but in this case, we've had one of those brief spin-up tornadoes, and the Weather Service, seeing that TDS debris being lofted, that's the right thing to do, is to post a tornado warning. So again, Taylor put the time on here. Taylor, it is until 11 o'clock Central Time. And I don't think Taylor is mic'd up here, but you've not seen any damage reports, as to my knowledge. We saw some damage in Greene County, I think around the town of Union. We've seen a lot of damage with this line of storms back in parts of Mississippi. But again, in Alabama, the damage reports have been fairly limited so far.
So far, we've got some reports from Sumter County, trees down, and that's kind of been the story so far, has been trees down as that main line moved through. But yeah, most of the reports we saw with this line was actually back in Mississippi, where they had wind gusts over 70 miles per hour in some locations. But so far, a couple trees have been down in Greene County and Sumter County. Those have been the reports I've seen so far. And obviously, we had a TDS, so we'll see who or what was impacted by this potential tornado.
Okay, and again, this is the TDS is out here in a pretty sparsely populated part of the world. This was near the Tuscaloosa-Bibb County line north of Pondville, the old radar station down here, the old WSR 57 that for years was served the state. This is Alabama Highway 25 here. That's Alabama Highway 5 here, Brent, Centerville here. And again, we stress this does not include Brent, Centerville, West Blockton, Cappy Junction, Woodstock, Bibbville, Green Pond, any of these places. It does not include the city of Tuscaloosa. It's a pretty small polygon, and that's the right thing to do. What the Weather Service in Birmingham is trying to do is cut out the number of false alarms. We just don't need any more of those, and they're doing a wonderful job of that. And they're keeping the polygon small on a night like tonight where these tornadoes are expected to be fairly short-lived. And again, right now, we're not seeing any evidence of that. Most likely the tornado has dissipated as we speak. So if you're just joining us here, we're going to try and rejoin the newscast soon when the warning is canceled or when the warning expires. And we don't expect many tornado warnings tonight. This is the first one in the state, and this might be the only one in the state. In fact, there's a good chance this line will be weakening as it moves east of Interstate 65. The environment is different on the eastern side of the state. The air is more stable. The dynamic support will be fading there, and we think the storms will weaken after midnight tonight. And the odds of additional tornado warnings are low. Not zero, but low. So again, let's go back to a wider view, Taylor, since we really don't have a tornado signature at this point with this particular line segment. You can see the line running from near Double Springs in the far western part of Smith Lake, then curving down to Carbon Hill and Eldridge and Walker County, then down through parts of Fayette County near Berry. The Tuscaloosa segment here, there's kind of a break in the line here, and the city of Tuscaloosa is in that break. It's been windy, it's been wet, obviously stormy there, but then the line re-intensifies east of Tuscaloosa, then down through parts of western Bibb County, western Perry County, down toward Marion, down toward Uniontown, back toward Faunsdale and Thomaston in Marengo County. Want to go quickly to our Skycam in Tuscaloosa. Just wanted to show this. We've been watching this as the line came through. This is coming from DCH Regional Medical Center in Tuscaloosa, and this is looking down on University Boulevard. And we've had some pretty remarkable lightning strikes, but notice the power is on here, which is a good sign. We've had some power outages. Some folks are in the dark tonight, but you can see, at least in this part of the city and over toward the university campus, the lights are on, and the weather has calmed down a good bit. It was pretty rocky here for a while. So back to the radar, and again, we are having to take over the newscast here for a few moments because we have a tornado warning in effect for parts of extreme southeast Tuscaloosa County and extreme northwestern Bibb County. This is a small polygon. Again, when we have these brief spin-up tornadoes, the key word here is brief. In the Birmingham metro, it's just raining. We have thunder, lightning, and the heavier storms will be coming into the Birmingham metro during the next 30 minutes or so. But again, we really do expect to see a weakening trend beginning soon, certainly by midnight, maybe within the next 30 minutes or so. But still, these storms are capable of producing strong straight-line winds that might exceed 50, 55, 60 miles an hour in spots. Here's a look at our velocity product. And again, you can see there's no strong evidence of a tornado in through here. We'll check the correlation coefficient product on dual polarization radar, and we really don't see a distinct lowering. For a while, we did have that debris signature. In fact, we can back this thing up in time, Taylor. Just wanted to show you what that thing looked like when it came through this area. And again, the circulation has crossed over US 82. We can pretty much give an all clear at this point if you want to. Yeah, right here. See that? That's your debris signature right here, and it just fades away as it came over US Highway 82, and now it's pretty much gone. So the debris signature was originated here in the far northeastern part of Hale County and came up here through parts of Tuscaloosa County. And here's the updated polygon, and you can see it is for a very, very tiny space in extreme northwestern Bibb and extreme southeastern Tuscaloosa County. The polygon does not include Interstate 5920, does not include US Highway 11, and there's a good chance the Weather Service will not extend this. And the time again, Taylor, of expiration time was?
It is 11 p.m.
Okay, and I think they will let this go sooner than later, but again, we'll see. But what they're going to do is watch multiple volume scans. Here's a look at our watch warning map. And again, we want to point out that the severe thunderstorm watch has been expanded to include a few counties, including Jefferson and Shelby. So the Birmingham metro is now under a severe thunderstorm watch. This includes Cullman, Clanton, Chilton County, Autauga, Elmore, Montgomery. But notice the risk of severe weather has ended for those west of Tuscaloosa. The risk of severe weather is over for Marion, Lamar, Pickens, Greene, Hale, and Sumter, you can go to bed. You have no severe weather worries. The rain will be ending there soon, but the risk continues for these counties for a little bit longer. Right now, if you're in Anniston, Gaston, no watches, no warnings. And again, the air is much more stable on the eastern side of the state. These storms should weaken as they push into East Alabama. The chance of this watch being extended eastward, rather low at this point. As always, watch the weather. The one thing we always point out, we have a new tornado warning I see here for northern Tuscaloosa. So this is a new one that just popped up right here. And again, these are brief spin-up tornadoes. These are tough to deal with. It's like playing whack-a-mole. But let's put the velocity display on and let's see if we can identify a spot here with it. Okay, so this is their concern right here. This is going to be a little to the east of U.S. Highway 43. A lot of people are listening to us via radio 95.3 The Bear, their sister stations down in Tuscaloosa. But the possible tornadic circulation in North Tuscaloosa County is now located near the community of Gorgas. This is going to be north of Samantha, north of Northside High School, Walker Elementary School. And this potential tornado is going to be crossing over Alabama Highway 69 near Wyndham Springs or just north of Wyndham Springs, then moving due east. Remember, these are not going to last long, and they're very tough to deal with. These can often last literally for 5 minutes and they're gone. But again, these are some of the approximate arrival times. We have Wyndham Springs here showing up at 10:37, the community of Tutwiler at 10:54. So while the tornado signature has faded down in the southern part of Tuscaloosa County, we now have indication of a possible tornado in the northern part of Tuscaloosa County right here. This is between highways 43, US 43, and Alabama Highway 69. And again, that potential circulation is going to be cutting across the northern part of Tuscaloosa County. So in terms of travel, we now recommend no travel along Alabama Highway 69, say from the northern tip of Lake Tuscaloosa back up to the Walker County line up and through here. You've got the community of Oakman, which is here in Walker County. No part of Walker County is involved in this, but this potential small spin-up tornado is moving on towards the east. And we've said this over and over. There's no such thing as a weak tornado. This is probably an EF0, a 1, but those can create big problems. A lot of people saw the video that we shared from Elmore County last week of an EF0 that took a camper and just took it away. So all tornadoes are problematic, even the ones that are brief, short-lived, and spin-up tornadoes in a squall line like this, QLCS tornadoes. QLCS is quasi-linear convective system. Back in the old days, we used to call it a squall line. So a potential tornado now in North Tuscaloosa County. Let's quickly look at the other one. And again, there's no evidence of a tornado in this other storm. And let's see if they've let that one go down here, Taylor. They're still hanging on to that. There's broad rotation here south of Coaling in Tuscaloosa County. But again, that's not really a tornado-type circulation on radar. A couple of broad circulations down here. So we have a technically still for a few more minutes a tornado warning for extreme southeastern Tuscaloosa County and western Bibb County. There's broad circulation here near the Bibb-Tuscaloosa County line south of Coaling. This will probably go out soon. We're going to focus on the northern Tuscaloosa County tornado warning. And again, we want to stress that we have absolutely no issues in the city of Tuscaloosa or the city of Northport or the campus of the University of Alabama. If you're watching us from around the country, you have a student here, a son or a daughter, they're fine. The concern right now is in North Tuscaloosa County, and that's a pretty good signature right here. And that's going to be crossing Highway 69 north of Northport, north of Lake Tuscaloosa, in a matter of minutes south of the Walker County line. This is the Walker County line. This is Walker County, Fayette County, northern Tuscaloosa County. And again, potential for a brief tornado that's about to cross Highway 69 near Wyndham Springs. Our big 2,000-foot towers are out here serving our TV stations. A lot of folks that live in Tuscaloosa County, you see the strobe lights at night, and this will be passing pretty close to those towers, maybe just north of there. And again, Taylor's got the potential track of this thing, and if it hangs in there, then it could cross over into Walker County. The polygons tonight are going to be pretty small with these tornado warnings because, again, the tornadoes will not be long track. They will not be long lasting. They will be short, spin up, brief tornadoes, and we don't need these long polygons. So again, there's no part of Walker County or Jefferson County involved in this. This is the Warrior River right here, by the way. This is Jefferson, this is Walker County, and this is northern Tuscaloosa. So again, everybody in the northern part of Tuscaloosa County, and again, US 43 and points west, all clear for you. Gorgas, Samantha, anybody in those communities, you're good to go. The concern now is up Highway 69 right here, north of Lake Tuscaloosa, south of the Walker County line. We advise no travel on Alabama 69. Many people listening to us by by radio on our radio partners. And if this thing by chance holds together, it could cross over into extreme southern Walker County. This is way far south of Parrish, south of Good Springs, south of Pumpkin Center, then crossing over into Jefferson. You've got Alliance over here. This is Oak Grove here. And again, that's Alabama Highway 269 right here. I don't think it'll make it that far. It might, but probably not. So again, this is a tornado warning in effect now for northern Tuscaloosa County. And one more time, I want to show this long line of storms on the western side of the state. And you can see the line itself stretches from near the western and northern part of Smith Lake down through Walker County, Fayette, Tuscaloosa counties, Bibb, Perry counties, and the far western part of Dallas counties. The Weather Service has expired these warnings up here for Winston and for Walker. They have let those warnings go. In terms of the severe thunderstorm warnings, we do have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect now for the western part of Jefferson, southern Walker, for parts of Bibb and Perry counties. And again, within this segment, especially down here, this is where the air is fairly unstable. There could be some pretty strong winds from Centerville and Brent, then curving down to just east of Marion, down to Uniontown, approaching Browns in Dallas County. And that'll be sweeping through Selma and ultimately places like Clanton here in the next 30 minutes or so. And the heavier storm should be in the Birmingham metro by 11 o'clock. It is now 10:34. So that's the current situation. We have this line of storms. The eastern side of the state is quiet. And again, we think the storms will weaken as they go east of I-65 into the eastern side of the state because of the atmospheric conditions over here. And again, we'll check this one more time. And again, we'll look at this segment of the line that's near the Tuscaloosa-Bibb County line. This is the first tornado warning, and this is the reason that we went on the air initially about 15 minutes ago. We're going to check this one, and they've taken that out. I love it when Taylor draws an X. Best X drawer in the universe right here. So the warning for southeastern Tuscaloosa County, northwestern Bibb, done. Stick a fork in it. We'll focus on this one up here. So again, let's go back to our velocity display on the segment right here. And again, you can clearly see what could be a tornado. Let's look at our debris signature here. We'll see if we have any debris in association with that being lofted, and we do not at this point. So it's not a confirmed tornado. This is a radar indicated tornado. And we have a fairly small polygon here. Again, this is Jefferson, this is Walker County. And again, this tornadic circulation is going to be cutting across the southern tip of Walker if it survives the next 10 minutes or so, then cutting across the Warrior River, which is right here, then over into Jefferson County. Again, you've got Alliance right here. This is Oak Grove down here, Mud Creek down below. You got North Johns down below that. So if you're just in the southern tip of Walker, that northwestern part of Jefferson, just kind of watch this. And if you live out here on the river, a lot of folks do. The river rats, as they are known. You need to watch this thing as well. The circulation right now is on Highway 69, Alabama Highway 69 at Wyndham Springs. And again, that'll be clipping pretty much where our 2,000-foot towers are located. The two tallest towers in really, for a long time, two of the tallest man-made structures in the world. Now there's a lot of 2,000-foot towers around, but this circulation is going to go very close to the two towers we have up here. And many people that live up here, you see those strobes, and that might give you a good landmark in terms of where this possible circulation will be. And again, we stress the only county involved in this is northern Tuscaloosa County. And if you're just joining us, this has nothing to do with the city of Tuscaloosa, nothing to do with Northport or the University of Alabama. This is far north of there. And if you're along Highway 43 around Samantha or Gorgas, you're clear, an all clear from this rotation. It still could be raining. There's thunder and lightning. But in terms of focusing on this tornado, the concern now is Highway 69 and points on to the east, as this will continue pushing onto the east. Taylor, any additional updates from you in terms of damage?
No, haven't seen any damage come in. I've been checking our different chat streams. I've been looking on our social media feeds. Have not gotten any reports from this particular storm at this point. And some of the good news is that we've been, of course, watching for any kind of tornado debris signature, and we have not seen that show up yet, which would indicate to us that that potentially has not touched down yet. But that doesn't mean it won't in the next couple of minutes or so. So that's why, of course, the National Weather Service is continuing this tornado warning. And I mean, looking at the velocity signature here, It was pretty good signature for a while. Kind of starting to broaden out a bit now as it's moving over 69, which is good news. But these kind of tornadoes, you know, they can spin up very quickly, and then they can go away, and then they can come back. So we're watching along this leading edge of the line, and at the very least, you're going to see some really strong winds as this moves through. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Even if it's not necessarily tornado winds, you could be seeing a severe gusts up to 70 miles per hour with this storm. So we want you to take even those precautions for severe thunderstorm warnings if you're in northern Tuscaloosa County right now. I do have an update about the severe thunderstorm watch. There are some counties that are being dropped from that. It hasn't shown up yet on our system, but more counties are being cleared as this line moves through. So once you get that main line moving through, you're done. You're able to go to bed for the night, and your severe threat is over. And I do expect these storms really to be out of all of central Alabama by the early morning hours. They're not going to be impacting us anymore by the time you're headed out to work or to school. So I don't expect this to have really an impact on your morning commute by any means. But of course, the reason we're on the air is because we do have this tornado warning for portions of northern Tuscaloosa County. Does not include Samantha, does not include Northport, does not include Tuscaloosa, downtown Tuscaloosa. It really is this northern part of the county, and still watching for any kind of indication that we've got a tornado on the ground. And I'm not seeing that at this point on our correlation coefficient product, but we'll take a look again here at the velocity. And yeah, you can definitely see that there's some rotation going on here. So that is why the National Weather Service is continuing this tornado warning. This tornado warning, once again, is set to expire, I think, 11:15 p.m. So that's going to be for another 30 minutes or so that we'll be watching this system. If this holds together, it's eventually going to be moving into parts of Walker County, into Jefferson County. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. We'll see. So far, we haven't gotten any kind of clear indication that this tornado is on the ground, but certainly looks suspicious right along that leading edge there. And these are the common with these types of QLCS events where we get these long lines, where we get kind of these kinks in these lines is where we can see those quick spin up tornadoes. So often these are hard to warn on, and the National Weather Service is doing a good job so far, which our National Weather Service always does a good job here in Birmingham. We have a great National Weather Service. But they saw that little notch there in that line. They saw that indication of rotation, and they went ahead and warned on it, which is the right thing to do in a situation like this when we are watching a strong line of storms. But wanted to check that correlation coefficient again. Let's see what we got here. Not really showing any kind of debris signature, which is certainly some good news. We don't want to see that show up. But that doesn't mean that we aren't getting some either strong winds with this storm, or that doesn't mean that this is not going to potentially produce a tornado in the next few minutes or so. So we're going to keep a close eye on that storm. We'll take a look at the overall picture here across central Alabama. And this is what we got. We got this long line of storms that stretches from Winston County down through Walker County, northern Tuscaloosa, into Bibb, also into Perry counties. And it's where you see the reds. Of course, that's going to indicate the heaviest rain. That's also where we've got some strong winds. At this point, we have severe thunderstorm warning that covers the southern half of Walker County, the western half of Jefferson, northern half of Tuscaloosa, in addition to that tornado warning. And then pretty much almost all of Bibb. Pretty much all of Bibb County included in the severe thunderstorm warning at this point, with the exception of the westernmost communities, and then all of Chilton included in a severe thunderstorm warning. And that's going to be for straight line winds over 60 miles per hour possible. We've seen wind gusts with this line, has a history of producing wind gusts anywhere between 50 to about 70 miles per hour. So that's enough to do damage as well. So we want you to take those severe thunderstorm warnings seriously. Of course, if you're under one of those severe thunderstorm warnings, stay away from the windows if you can, just because the winds are, of course, going to pick up as that line moves.
We can take
through.
WEX 05 for just a minute, Dennis. I want to show some damage. This is coming in from the Flatwoods area in Northport. This is just north of downtown Northport, and when we're looking at a lot of the damage we're seeing here, I can't tell you if this is related to a brief spin-up tornado or if it's related to straight-line winds. Understand that we've got evidence of straight-line winds in this line as it came through West Alabama of up to 70 miles an hour in spots. and that can produce a lot of damage. This could have been a small tornado, and again, this is in the Flatwoods community, which is in Northport. Getting many photographs in from Greene County now, Taylor, from around Branch Heights in Utah, where we've got significant structural damage. And again, with that line that came through Greene County, there's clear evidence of winds maybe gusting up to 65, 70 miles an hour, straight line winds. Could there have been a small tornado in there? Yes. So just understand that we're starting to see more and more reports of damage now. So let's go back to the radar here. It is currently at 10:43. I'm James Spann with Taylor Serralo. Working severe storms passing through the western part of Alabama. We have really broad circulation now in northeast Tuscaloosa County. And let's give an all clear to Highway 69. If you are along or west of Alabama 69, you're okay at this point. The danger is now to the east of Highway 69, approaching the Warrior River. And again, the circulation is getting broad. Let's look at our correlation coefficient really quickly, and I probably would imagine we're going to see nothing here, and we do not. So there's no debris being lofted. The rotation is fairly broad, and I don't think this warning will be extended. And again, this might be the last tornado warning of the night. Maybe not. Again, we talked about the possibility of maybe a brief isolated tornado or two, and that's what we've had. We had the initial tornado warning down in the far southeast corner of Tuscaloosa County, and this one now in the northeast corner of Tuscaloosa County. But again, I think we can X this one out fairly soon. But again, no doubt we have broad circulation right here. But the circulation is broad, but there's no evidence of a tight tornadic type circulation. And again, that's going to be crossing over into the southern tip of Walker County. And I want to point out that everybody here is under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's probably the most important of the messages we have here. The severe thunderstorm warning includes the western part of Jefferson County and the southern part of Walker County. The polygon that's defined here in the shades of yellow, the flashing red, that's your tornado warning polygon. But this line segment here could easily produce strong straight line winds that might gust to 50, 60 miles an hour or so. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear, and that we've kind of been focusing on this one little spot where there might be a tornado, but along the length of that entire line, we have the potential for strong straight line winds. And again, we're getting reports of damage back in Greene County around Utah and Branch Heights, getting reports of some damage now in Northport. But the good news, we've heard of nobody that's being injured. A lot of people in Greene County are letting us know that, to their knowledge, there's been no injuries, despite the fact there's a good bit of damage down in parts of Greene County around Branch Heights that occurred earlier this evening as that line passed through here. So again, let's go back to a broad picture really quick. Kind of want to show the big picture. We got rain falling in Birmingham, rain beginning in parts of Anniston, Gadsden on the eastern side of the state. We've got the line of storms now from near Smith Lake curving down to Jasper, northern Tuscaloosa County, parts of Bibb County, raining heavily in Centerville and Brent. That line segment runs down through extreme eastern Perry County into western Dallas County. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect now for parts of Bibb, Perry, Chilton, Autauga, and Dallas counties for the possibility of strong straight line winds. That's the main concern tonight. And again, we have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for extreme southern Walker County, western Jefferson, and northeastern Tuscaloosa County. The warnings have expired up here around Smith Lake, Cullman, Winston, and northern Walker, as this line segment is seemingly under severe limits at this point. And really and truly, I think for the next hour or so, the main concern is going to be the line segment down here through parts of Bibb, Perry, Chilton, Autauga, and Dallas counties. But one more time, let's go back into our tornado warning. The reason we're here doing continuous coverage is that we have a tornado warning that is in effect for the extreme northeastern part of Tuscaloosa County for that rotation you see right here. Again, the rotation is relatively broad. It's not your classic tornado look. But again, that broad circulation is about to hit the Warrior River, which is located right here. This is Walker. This is Jefferson County right here. And again, you can see Alliance here, Oak Grove, the schools, Oak Grove High School, the elementary school about there where my finger is. Possible tornadic circulation. And again, this is going to be moving like this. And I say it's very broad at this point, which is the good news. But again, looking back at many of the damage reports that are coming in this evening, I'm not seeing specific reports of injuries, although this is from Valerie Bell, Greene County EMA Director Zach Bolding tells her that one person is trapped Multiple trees are down, roofs are off apartments, and vehicles were moved because of strong winds in Branch Heights, which is Utah and Greene County. And again, the Weather Service will get in there tomorrow. We'll figure out if it was a small tornado or straight line winds. This line segment had a history of doing that back in eastern Mississippi, and that's the reason that severe thunderstorm warnings were issued for Greene and all the counties in West Alabama. Greene, Sumter, Pickens initially. But again, that seems to be the most significant damage in our state right now. It's back in parts of Greene County at Utah and in Branch Heights. And one more time, if we can take WEX 05, I'll just kind of show you. It's awfully hard to see in the dark, but this is an example of some of the damage that has occurred down there in parts of Greene County, specifically at Utah. And again, once we get the first light of day, we'll have a much better indication of exactly what's going on down there. And again, the EMA says one person trapped. We've heard of no specific injuries from the others that are on the scene down there. And again, this is an interesting video here. And again, this is coming from the Flatwoods community of Northport. And again, it's dark. It is so hard to see, but you can see there's been obviously some significant damage there. And again, whether that was a small spin-up tornado or strong straight-line winds, we'll find out tomorrow. But that's the kind of stuff we've been dealing with tonight with this line of storms. So let's go back to the radar. Again, it's 10:49. And again, we are here because of this. And again, this thing is trying to hang in there. You can see that possible tornadic circulation that is in the far northeastern part of Tuscaloosa County. And again, that is about to cross over into the southern tip of Walker County, which is right here. This is Highway 269, runs from Parrish down to Good Springs, Pumpkin Center, Birmingport, Alliance, then down to Sylvan Springs. And we have that circulation that will be crossing over into Walker. This is the county line, this little stair step thing here. This is Walker, this is Jefferson. Again, this is the river. This is where the two branches come together, the Locust Fork and the Mulberry Fork of the river to make the Black Warrior here. But again, that looks better. We've had that pulse down, now it's pulse back up. It looks better organized. Well, let's look at the correlation coefficient real quick. And again, on that volume scan, it doesn't look as good. And again, on the CC product, we see no distinct lowering here. So,
and James, the National Weather Service is letting us know that they're likely going to continue this as a severe thunderstorm warning once it moves out of the polygon, but with a tornado possible tag on that.
Yeah, and I think that's the right thing to do. And again, in the weather enterprise, this is hard. You know, a historic day like April 27, 2011, that was easy. I mean, that was easy, issuing those warnings. These amazing signatures on radar, you could see them on the sky cams. But in a QLCS event like this, a squall line, a long line, where these tornadoes get down, they last for 2 minutes and they're gone, that's hard. And quite frankly, we're not that good. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think the thing that's missing in the weather enterprise is humility. There's a lot of things we can't do. And there's a lot of things we don't know. There's so much to learn. In dealing with these tornadoes, it is tough. There's a research project in the field going on now called Perils, designed to help us with QLCS tornadoes, these short-lived tornadoes. But by the time a warning goes out, the tornado's gone. And again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's like playing whack-a-mole. So right now, the best thing we can do is to go with severe thunderstorm warnings and say a brief tornado is possible within this line. And you have to be very weather aware. And that's the best way to handle that, because if you issue warning after warning after warning, when you see a little spinner on radar, all of a sudden your false alarm ratio is 85%, and that just doesn't work. So it is a tough situation, but again, so the Weather Service is going to let the tornado warning go and leave up this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for western Jefferson. And we'll watch that. If the thing tightens back up, you have to put out the warning. You do. And if you got a debris signature on radar, you have to do that. But it is so hard. And I've said, you know, it's easy to criticize those issuing the warnings at the Weather Service. Well, you sit at that warning desk and let's see how you do on a night like tonight. It's tough. It really is. And again, our friends at the Weather Service, Kevin Laws and his team, Kevin is the Science Operations Officer, the SOO. And he's done a remarkable job in getting the false alarm ratio down while keeping the POD high. The POD is the probability of detection. So we are here because of broad circulation in northeastern Tuscaloosa County that is about to cross over into southern Walker and extreme western Jefferson. The Weather Service will not be extending this tornado warning here. They're going to leave the severe thunderstorm warning in effect up. And just be aware that this will be producing some fairly gusty winds. Taylor, let me kick it back over to you for a second. I'm going to check on some more damage reports here.
Okay, and let's just do an overall big view here of what we got going on. I'm going to clear out the circle I just drew on there, and we'll take us to the overall view here. We've got loud thunderstorms from Coleman County down into Walker County. The southern half of Walker County included in a severe thunderstorm warning. We could have winds over 60 miles per hour with that storm. And of course, we're watching the circulation, broad circulation at this point, cross over into southern Walker County. And we'll be keeping a close eye on that storm to see if that tightens up at all. But we are expecting this to continue as a severe thunderstorm warning. Heavy rain moving from Tuscaloosa into Jefferson County now, and also monitoring this southern line here pretty closely. That's where we could have some pretty strong winds as well, anywhere from 50 to 70 miles per hour. That's now crossing over from southern Bibb into northern Chilton. Pretty much all of Chilton County included now in a severe thunderstorm warning, and that is for those gusty winds. And we are starting to see those reports come in from damage from what is probably those straight line winds that move through quite a few locations in West Alabama. I do want to put on the severe thunderstorm watch just to show that we do have a couple counties that have been dropped from that severe thunderstorm watch. So if you are in Marion, Lamar, Pickens, Greene, Hale counties, your severe threat's over. You can go to bed for the night. We're done. Once you get that main line moving through, it's still going to rain, but once that leading edge moves through your community, you are done with the severe threat for the evening. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to the radar here and check on things and see what we got going on. Quite a bit of lightning, quite a bit of thunder, but we only have a couple severe warnings at this point, and that's going to be that one severe thunderstorm warning that includes West Jefferson County, the southern half of Walker, northeastern Tuscaloosa, all of Bibb, all of Chilton counties. So that's where we have the strongest winds right now. And we'll go back down into that storm that was tornado warned, or is tornado warned still at this point. But we're starting to see that circulation move out of that warning polygon in northeast Tuscaloosa County. So I'm going to move.
I can't wait to see you draw that X in there.
I'm waiting for it.
Let's go to WEX 05 real quick. I wanted to show another short video from a viewer. This is, look at this fire here. This apparently was started by a lightning strike. This is out on 15th Street Road near Hueytown High School, the new Hueytown High School. And again, I don't believe there's any specific property in here. I'll back this thing up again. But again, this was taken here in the last few minutes off 15th Street Road in the northwest part of Hueytown near Hueytown High School. I don't think there's any structures involved in that, but apparently lightning started that. So we'll go back to the radar. We're coming up on 1055. And again, we have, there you go. X marks the spot. Out of here. Stick a fork in it. It's done. So we have no tornado warnings in effect. So we're going to go back to programming here around 11 o'clock here in a few minutes. But let's kind of do a reset. We'll go back and show the big picture. And again, could there be an additional tornado warning tonight? Yes, I'd say it's unlikely. These are brief spin-up tornadoes, and they could be problematic. And again, we've had some damage tonight. The most significant damage is coming from Utah and Branch Heights, where one person apparently is trapped. We have a roof off an apartment complex. We have some cars that have been moved from that part of West Alabama. And again, whether that was straight line winds or a tornado, we don't know that. We'll know that tomorrow morning. In fact, if we can take WEX 05 real quick, the one dark image we have out of there looks like that. And again, you can see the damage is very significant. And that's when that nasty looking line came through Greene County about 1 hour ago. And again, we're getting Valerie Bell of our news department. She's, I believe, on the way to the scene. Stephen Quinn could be. And as soon as we get reports from them and more specifics, we'll let you know. But we have a line of storms stretching from western Coleman County, Battleground, West Point, Jones Chapel, right on top of Smith Lake, down to Jasper, and then into far western Jefferson County. And really and truly, this segment here has shown tendency to weaken over the past hour or so. I'd say the greatest chance of wind damage is going to be in this segment here of the storms. And this is the segment that's coming through parts of extreme western Chilton County down toward Stanton and Ryderville, and that will be coming up toward Maplesville and Clanton. And then down into Dallas County around Selma, right down Highway 22. And we could see winds in here that might be gusting to 50, 55 miles an hour, maybe 60 in spots. And we have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect now for Chilton and Autauga counties. And for when does this warning expire, Taylor? The one up here for western Jefferson, 11:15. So we've got this warning, and I don't think that warning will be extended, and that the northern part up here is really struggling. It's in an environment where the conditions really don't favor any strengthening for sure. But down here, the air is more unstable, and I think for another maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour, that line segment could produce some wind damage. So just be aware that if you are in places like Clanton, Prattville, Enterprise, not the Enterprise in Coffee County, the one that's in Chilton County, Maplesville is coming through Maplesville right now. Just be aware, Jemison, Thorsby, Verbena, all of these communities in Chilton County, be aware that the winds could be pretty strong in through here. In fact, we'll know pretty soon what's going on, and that we've got some population centers. In fact, we can pop that Clanton sky cam on, Taylor. Let's look back off to the west, and we'll see if we can see some lightning hits, and I would imagine we can. The lightning has been fairly extensive, although the lightning output has been decreasing a bit. Yeah, there's a live look at downtown Clanton. We'll raise the camera up a little bit more to the, keep going to the sky, and let's see if we can see some lightning strikes. Again, it's awfully frustrating dealing with storms at night. It seems like that's been the situation here this year. Most of our significant events have been nighttime events, which is not unusual for our state. This time of the year, it is happening here. Again, I'm watching as we talk here some more of the reports coming in from Greene County. Again, the good news I can report out of Greene County is apparently we don't have any specific reports of any injuries in progress there, which is good. But the damage apparently has been fairly significant down in that part of the world tonight in Greene County. And again, we've had some other scattered damage reports too across the state. So again, let's go back to the radar. And again, we're going to hold it here for just a little while longer, and then we have active severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. So if you're in the Birmingham metro, the rain will be picking up here. This line segment's going to come through Birmingham here in the next 15 minutes or so. The tendency has been for this line segment to weaken. I know we had a tornado warning up here in North Tuscaloosa County with this for a while, but again, the general trend has been for weakening. We think that continues. And again, as this stuff moves east of I-65 later tonight, the environment here not as favorable for severe weather. So there's a good chance that this stuff will continue to weaken. The better instability is down to the south. And again, this segment here will probably stay strong, maybe at severe limits for the next hour or so as it comes through parts of Chilton and Autauga counties. But that again, that will likely weaken as it pushes into the western side of the state. The two good things working in our favor here. Number one, the air is becoming more stable. It's late at night. And the other good thing, the dynamic support, the mechanism that's providing the upward motion for all of this is beginning to lift out, and the dynamics are weakening. So with the stability increasing, the instability decreasing, and the dynamics lifting out, that means I think after midnight the odds of big severe weather problems are fairly low, and the odds of additional tornado warnings are low. Not zero, but low. Again, we've got some thunder and lightning over here around the lake, the Coosa River, up toward Ohatchee. And if you're in Anniston, Gadsden, the rain's going to begin soon. Rain falling around Gadsden now. Up in the Tennessee Valley, we have some rain here. But in West Alabama, the news is good. Let's go back to our watch warning map. Some of the counties have been taken out, which is encouraging. Again, you can see that we have really just a few counties left in the severe thunderstorm watch. We have Jefferson, St. Clair, Talladega, Shelby, Coosa, Chilton, Elmore, Autauga, Lowndes, and Montgomery, and then counties down to the south. And really, that's it. If you're in Tuscaloosa, the risk of severe weather is over. Hit the hay. You're done for the night. No problems there. If you're in Bibb County, the risk of severe weather is ended. If you're in Walker County, the risk of severe weather is ended. Technically, I know you've got this polygon here, but that's basically into Jefferson now. The risk of severe weather is ended for Cullman, for Winston, for Perry, Greene, Hale, Pickens, Fayette, all those counties west of Birmingham. The only counties under a severe thunderstorm watch now are Jefferson, St. Clair, Talladega, Shelby, Coosa, Chilton, Elmore, Autauga, Lowndes, and Montgomery, the counties that you see here. So again, we're going to hold it here for a few more minutes as we're starting to see a few more images coming in. Let's take WEX 05 if we can. This is probably the better quality image that we have seen from Branch Heights down in Utah. And again, you can see that the roof has been partially blown off this structure here. And again, beyond that, we don't have that many details. Again, from the EMA director, we understand that we have no reports of any injuries. At one point, there was one person trapped. There's been significant damage, and I cannot tell you from that one photograph if that was caused by straight line winds or a tornado, and it really doesn't matter. Damage is damage. It happened. And the Weather Service will be assessing that. And Stephen Quinn and his team, he's on the way to Greene County, and he'll have reports for us later tonight and certainly tomorrow morning on Good Morning Alabama. So, Taylor, what do you think? What's on your mind over there?
I'm just going through looking for any kind of damage reports, and I haven't really seen much coming in, at least on my end. We've still got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings that are going to continue through 11:15, and we'll see whether or not the National Weather Service decides to extend those farther eastward. But the first severe thunderstorm watch has been allowed to expire. That was set to expire at 11 p.m. And once this main line moves through your area, you're done. So pretty much Tuscaloosa done with the severe weather threat. Hale, Greene, Pickens, Lamar, Fayette, Marion, Winston. A couple more minutes for Walker County. I know it's raining really heavily in Jasper. Let's see. I'm going to try to change this over to our Jasper camera. Let's get a look at what's going on in Jasper here. Raining heavily as we take a live look from our Jasper camera there. You can definitely see that heavy rain coming down. Doesn't look all that windy, and downtown Jasper not included in a severe thunderstorm warning. So the storm moving through right now is below severe limits, and as you can see, there's not much in the way of wind right now. But watching very carefully that line that's moving through Chilton County, and I've been monitoring on our Clanton camera, and we're starting to see some rain, but at this point, that is the area where this line is kind of still the strongest. Could be producing winds up to 60 miles per hour, and we're watching for any kind of signs of rotation along that leading edge. Not seeing much at this point, which is good. That's what we want to see. So we'll wait and see whether or not the National Weather Service continues these severe thunderstorm warnings as this line moves eastward. And as James has been saying, I mean, the atmospheric conditions are not as favorable as the system moves eastward. So the overall trend, like we've been telling you about today, is that this system is going to be weakening. As it moves east of I-65, the overall severe threat is going to start to go down. And the system is going to be moving pretty quickly. So we expect this to be out of here well before you are waking up to head out the door, to go to school, to go to work. We will be done, and then we're dry the rest of the day tomorrow, dry on Friday as well. So we get some nice weather once we get this out of here.
Let's go to WEXO 5 real quick, Dennis. State bird, Taylor. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, boy. The state bird is on the loose. I want to say this was taken down in northern Hale County around Moundville tonight. Again, this is some of the damage from Branch Heights in Utah. Again, we're going to get a news crew there very shortly. We'll find out more about that situation. Again, apparently this fire was started by lightning out on 15th Street Road near Hueytown High School earlier this evening. I don't think any structures are involved in that. And then we had, there's more damage coming in from Utah. And this is intriguing to me. This damage, according to the report we received, is near Flatwoods Elementary School in Northport. Now, we've got a skywatcher that lives in Flatwoods, and he has no damage. And again, if this was a little brief spin-up tornado, it might have hit just one house only in the neighborhood there. But again, this was taken earlier tonight from the Flatwoods community. But I want to stress, to our knowledge, it is not widespread there. So we'll go back to the radar. And again, we're going to phase down here in a few minutes and go back to regular programming. It's coming up on 11:06. And again, sorry for our friends in the news department. We had to cut off the 10 o'clock news because of two distinct tornado warnings. But we've got this one bow-shaped echo here. Let's look at this real quick, Taylor. This is the one coming into Birmingham. We just want to be sure before we go back that we don't see any evidence of rotation here. So let's pop on the velocity display and see if we see any suspicious areas here. You know, there's broad rotation here. But listen, you can't issue a tornado warning every time you see something like that. You just can't do that. If you do that, your false alarm ratio will be out the ceiling, and warnings won't mean anything. So we have broad rotation here within that line. The main issue, it's going to be strong gusty winds, and the velocities have been coming down steadily with that line segment. But let's go back to the reflectivity, and again, you can see evidence of kind of a bow-shaped echo in through here. So if you're in the western part of Jefferson County, out here toward Pratt City, Sylvan Springs, McDonald Chapel, Edgewater, Rock Creek, Oak Grove. You could be pretty windy out here, no doubt about that. The winds could gust as high as maybe 40, 50 miles an hour, and that's the reason there is a severe thunderstorm warning polygon for a few more moments. But the main concern, other than that, is down to the south. So we'll go down to the south and again look at the segment coming in toward Clanton right now. And these are moving along quickly. That's the good thing. You can see the line of storms in Chilton County, Jemison, Thorsby, Clanton, Fairview, down to Billingsley in Autauga County. And that'll be up on I-65 soon. We'll check the velocity display in here and see if we have any suspicious areas. And again, you're going to see these little broad rotating areas within that line, but probably no evidence of a tornado. If there was a tornado in here, we'd have a warning. So let's look at velocity real quick within this line and see what that looks like. And again, yeah, you've got these broad spinners in through here, but you just cannot issue a tornado warning every time you see some kind of rotation on radar. You know, warn, 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 and 9 out of 10 are false. You just can't do that. And again, the Weather Service in Birmingham has done a really good job of handling this and trying to improve this by getting the false alarm ratio down while keeping the POD up high. So let's go back to the velocity. And again, if you're in Jemison, Thorsby, Clanton, Fairview, down toward Billingsley and Autauga County, it's kind of rough. You've got heavy rain, gusty winds, pouring rain. But the good news, the storms are moving along at a pretty good clip. And again, these are going to be out of here pretty soon. Again, tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day. The sun's going to be out. And again, we fully believe that the storms will continue to weaken as they move east of I-65 overnight tonight as the air becomes more stable and the dynamic support lifts away onto the northeast of here.
We are getting a new severe thunderstorm warning now that is going to go for Jefferson and Walker through midnight.
Okay. So we'll put that up, and then we'll get some more images coming in from Zach Bolding, the EMA director down in Greene County. So here's our new severe thunderstorm warning. This is in effect until 12 midnight. It's now 11:09. And again, it's for this segment right here that could produce strong straight line winds. Broad rotation, yes. Tornado signatures, no. But let's zoom into this. I want to show some of the communities in the path of this. This will include basically downtown Birmingham up to the Blount County line. This would include places like Fultondale, Forestdale, Gardendale, Mount Olive, Kimberly, Morris, Warrior, up Highway 78 here, old Highway 78. We have Adamsville, we have Graysville, we have Forestdale. In the western part of the county, we have Sylvan Springs, we have Pratt City, McDonald Chapel, Edgewater, Mulga, Rock Creek. So again, this is your new severe thunderstorm warning. And again, we stress this is not a tornado warning. I know that typically when you see James Spann with the suspenders and all, and Taylor, and you know, there's a tornado warning here. We do not have that right now. We have been under a couple of isolated tornado warnings. We thought we'd just stay with you for a little while tonight as the storms come into the Birmingham metro, and we'll kind of watch these things together. Notice the lightning output has decreased a good bit here. The lightning count down to 8 strikes here in the past 10 minutes, but still, this line segment coming through Rock Creek, Sylvan Springs, back up toward West Jefferson and Cordova, that will be coming over into the the old US 78 corridor here, then ultimately I-65 and US 31 and downtown Birmingham. So just be aware there is now a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for downtown Birmingham in the northern and western part of Jefferson County. That's in effect until midnight for that line segment that you see right here. Let's go down to the south, and again down to the south we have other severe storms in progress near Jemison, Thorsby, Clanton, Fairview, and Billingsley. This is down in parts of Chilton and Autauga counties. These storms have been weakening somewhat. Let's go back to our velocity display really quick. We're just going to look at this. And again, yeah, you see evidence of where there's some broad rotation. There's no tornado signature in here.
It's moving through our Clanton camera right now.
Yeah, let's go to our Clanton Skycam. Taylor, what do you got there?
I got I'm zoomed in on a tree, and I've zoomed in on these street lights here, and you can see those blowing in the wind. The wind has really just picked up, and we're actually seeing that area of broad rotation move into downtown Clanton right now. So this is kind of giving you an idea of what that broad circulation looks like on the ground here now. Looking at just these trees blowing around, it's kind of blowing the camera around as well. I'm having a hard time controlling our camera and moving that around, but definitely windy. Street lights are moving, and it is raining heavily in downtown Clanton right now.
All right, so want to go to, let's see here. Let's go to WEX 05. And I want to show you some of the images coming in from Utah. And again, these images were captured here about an hour, a little over an hour ago as the line came through Utah, maybe an hour and 15, hour 30 minutes ago. Some of these images coming in from Zach Bolding, who's the EMA director, through Valerie Bell, our reporter there. And again, you can see some very significant damage to this home here. Looks like that home lost a good bit of its roof. And inevitably, this could very well be a small tornado. All of these images were captured down in Greene County here in the Branch Heights community. And again, you can see very significant damage at this particular home. And again, we don't know at this late hour exactly if this was all related to a small, brief tornado or straight line winds. And understand, straight line winds can produce damage like a tornado. We've seen it over and over and over here. But again, all of these images coming in from Greene County. Stephen Quinn of our news department, our news anchor, is on his way there. He should be there fairly soon. But this is what we are seeing down in Greene County tonight. And thanks to everybody for taking the time to send these images to us. But the good news we can report is the fact that we know of no specific injuries, despite the fact that it looks like that in parts of Greene County tonight. So it's been a very, very, very rough ride for our friends in West Alabama. And again, this is the Clanton Skycam, and it is rocking and rolling, shaking and baking here. And again, this is downtown Clanton. The good thing, the lights are still on down here. That's the encouraging thing. The power is still on. Yeah, it's.
This is that broad rotation moving through right now.
Right, and again, you know, what you see is what you get. You can see that tree is just really, really going to town here, as we probably got winds of 40, 45, maybe 50 miles an hour gusting in downtown Clanton. This is a live look at Clanton as we watch together this line of severe storms coming through Chilton County. And again, this is a night where you certainly want to pay close attention to all warnings. And we try and stress this. I do know in the weather business, I think we have too many severe thunderstorm warnings and people don't pay attention to them. And we have to do a better job of maybe reducing the number of warnings while keeping them up for a night like this, where they're very, very important. For example, in West Alabama in Greene County, there was a severe thunderstorm warning a good 40 minutes before that damage occurred. No tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning. But in the warning, it said a tornado is possible, these brief spin-up tornadoes. And getting that messaging out is important. But again, this is the line of severe storms coming through Clanton. That's a live look down in Chilton County tonight. And if you're, of course, in Coosa County, this thing's going to keep on going. It's not going to stop at the river. It's going to cross the Coosa, Lake Mitchell, then go over into Coosa County. But again, there's a good chance that the storms will be weakening once they cross east of I-65 this evening over into the eastern side of the state, as the conditions there are not as favorable for severe storms. So let's go back to the radar. And again, we've got a line of severe storms passing through West Alabama. And again, you can see Clanton right there. Let's put the reflectivity on. And we have two sets of warnings here. We have the northern warning for the segment right here, that bow-shaped echo that's going to be coming through Birmingham, especially the northern half of Jefferson County. And then we have the line coming through Clanton down into Watauga County, down toward Billingsley. And that'll be approaching Prattville soon. And really, that's it. All the other warnings have expired at this point. So we're basically down to two warnings in the northern half of the state, the warning for Chilton County and for Watauga County and for the northern part of Jefferson. So we'll take a look at our bow-shaped echo here. This looks like the little bookend vortex you see in the north edge of these things. And again, right here within that line, we could see some really strong straight line winds. And just be aware that as that comes through a pretty densely populated part of the world here, the Birmingham metro, it certainly could create some downed trees and power lines. It could create some power outages and maybe cause some structural damage. We've had that in parts of West Alabama earlier tonight. So again, we've got potential for strong straight line winds right now coming through Adamsville and Forestdale and Mulga, Sylvan Springs, McDonald Chapel, Edgewater, Pratt City, and that line will be coming over into downtown Birmingham, then up 31 toward Fultondale, Gardendale, Mount Olive, Morris, Kimberly, and Warrior. And again, you can see the polygon right here. So just be aware, in this part of Jefferson County, from downtown Birmingham north, we have the chance of strong, potentially damaging straight-line winds. And if we can pull up maybe one of our cameras, Taylor, maybe the one on Alabama Power Company downtown, we're always curious to look back into this thing, and we can see if we can see anything. What you got there?
Looking northwest from the Alabama Power camera, we're looking over the 5920 bridge there. And honestly, I was expecting to see some lightning, but we're really not seeing much just because the lightning counter is showing 7 strikes. So this is not a very electrified storm, but could be producing some gusty winds, some heavy rain. I'll kind of pan this around a little bit. We'll look a little bit farther to the east just because we have more lights this way, so you can see that it is going to be raining heavily in parts of downtown Birmingham. So let's zoom in closer here. And yeah, we got some heavy rain there. Camera's shaking a bit. But at this point, we're not showing any indication from this camera that we are looking at what would be severe gusts. So I also want to take us to the Children's of Alabama camera. We can look northward, and you can see that it's raining in downtown Birmingham. So for the time being, we're watching for the possibility of some gusty winds, but at least on our cameras, things are still fairly calm, but also the storms haven't really arrived in downtown Birmingham yet at this point. So we'll be waiting for that to happen. That severe thunderstorm warning is going to go through midnight. So we got about a little bit over 40 minutes, about 42 minutes on that severe thunderstorm warning. And we'll see the overall trend of these storms has been that they're weakening. And as they cross I-65, they are expected to weaken as they move into an atmosphere that's just not quite as favorable for severe weather. I'll take you down to that southern storm again. And the good news here is that it's starting to move east of I-65. Certainly seeing a weakening trend here with this storm moving east now of Clanton. It's going to be crossing over into Coosa County here pretty soon, but exiting Clanton pretty soon as well, and exiting all of Chilton County in general. So we'll likely see that warning dropped once that exits Chilton County. And it's set to exit at 11:45, and right now it is 11:20. So about 25 more minutes to go on that severe thunderstorm warning. And you can see the storms are a little bit stronger to our south, and that's where we've got the more favorable environment to see any kind of severe weather over the next few hours or so here. Starting to rain now out ahead of this line east of I-65. These are just general showers. The threat for any kind of severe storm is going to come right along this leading edge here. But, I mean, I'm going to put this radar into motion. We'll set it back a couple of hours, and you can really see the weakening trend as this is continuing to cross Alabama. So what I'm going to do here is take us back to that view, and we will see how strong this was a couple hours ago. It's kind of breaking apart. It is weakening, which is good news. That trend will continue, and this is probably going to be out here by pretty early in the morning, the next couple of hours or so. It's going to be exiting our state, and we will be left with a nice day tomorrow. So we are looking forward to that. We've still got to keep an eye, though, on things here over the next couple of hours. We've got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings that are still ongoing, but the overall trend is looking better.
Let's go back to WEX 05 for just a minute, Taylor. I want to show again. This damage occurred in the Flatwoods community. This is in Northport, and again, we're getting many reports of some damage, not the entire neighborhood, if you got relatives there, but in spots. But apparently this person had their house hit by either strong straight line winds or a small tornado, and that's some of the damage and again, this is in Northport, north of the river. But certainly the really big damage reports have been coming in from down in Greene County. This is some of the damage coming from Branch Heights in Utah. And again, that particular tramp, it's a state bird, that was, I want to say down in Hale County, but down in Greene County, it's been pretty tough. It's been a rough ride here. The EMA director is telling us that many people are going to be displaced. They're going to need a place to stay. That they have lost their home. It's going to take a while to get it repaired, the apartments and some of the homes in the community right there. But all of these images were captured tonight. You can see this is pretty significant here. We'll have to go back and look at radar data to see if maybe there was a small tornado. It sure looks like it again. But what's going to happen? A survey team will come in there tomorrow and determine if the damage in Utah was caused by a tornado or a microburst or strong straight line winds. They'll know right away. You can tell by the way the damage is laid out exactly how that thing played out. But you have to have daylight, and they'll be in there tomorrow from the Weather Service in Birmingham to take a look at that. But again, all of these images were captured down in Greene County earlier tonight. And I've got a few new ones in the slide deck here. Wanted to thank everybody for taking the time to send these in. The one person that was trapped, they have been freed. That has been confirmed by the EMA director. We don't have anybody trapped at this point. And again, I would imagine the person trapped, it was probably a falling tree, which is a fairly common thing. We did have some tragic loss of life today up in Arkansas. A tree came into a mobile home, and one person was killed from the storms up there this afternoon. But again, the good news I can tell you from Greene County, we've heard of no specific damage down and through there. But again, all of these pictures taken earlier tonight. This happened about an hour and a half ago in Greene County. So let's go back to the radar. Again, it's 11:22. We're holding it here for a little longer. We're just going to watch these storms as they weaken and be sure that we don't have any more surprises here. But again, you can see the multiple polygons here. Let's run that loop one more time, and I'll put my finger right here where we had the damage. And again, you can see that line segment that came through Greene County. And again, there was a warning at the time, a severe thunderstorm warning. The warning was issued probably about 40 minutes before it got in there. But here's the current radar. So again, we've got this heavier storms now in the southeastern tip of Chilton County. The severe weather is over now for Clanton. The worst of the weather is east of there, from near Lake Mitchell and Verbena, then curving down to Pine Level to about Autaugaville and Autauga County. That's one segment of the line. And the one closer to home is this one right here that's coming through the western part of Birmingham. So we'll take a closer look at that. And again, the weakening trend continues with that. But again, there's evidence of a little vortex right here, bow-shaped echo here. Typically, the stronger winds are in the apex of the bow right in through there. That's coming through Adamsville and Forestdale. And again, that'll be crossing over into the I-65 corridor, Fultondale, Gardendale, Mount Olive. Again, northern part of downtown Birmingham, and really downtown Birmingham itself. Birmingham is in the polygon, downtown Birmingham. And this warning is set to go until 12 midnight tonight. And, you know, the one thing about this, when we get storms in this particular configuration, we know pretty quickly if we've got some damage going on here, because we are certainly in a very densely populated corridor. And I have not seen specific evidence of that. And but again, still, you want it might be the best thing for you just to go into your tornado safe place. We have no tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning. But with strong winds, you never know here. So I do want to show quickly a few more images here. Let's go back to. Oh, hang on one second here. Go back to WEX 05, if we can. So this, again, is coming from Branch Heights down in Utah, and this is some of the damage there. And again, you can see it's pretty significant. This looks like it probably was a small tornado embedded within the line. And all of this happened about an hour and a half ago, close to 2 hours ago now, down in Greene County. This is southwest of Tuscaloosa. And we are thankful that we've heard of nobody injured down there with these particular storms. But again, the damage is very significant. And again, Stephen Quinn will be there in a matter of moments, and we'll be hearing back from him and start to see some of the video coming out of there. And of course, we really don't know how bad it is until the first light of day, and that'll be happening sooner than later. So back to the radar again. Again, I think Taylor is backing up what happened down here. Yeah, let's zoom into that. Let's see if we can try and find a correlation in Utah. And again, you can see there is broad rotation in through here. This was 9:40, all right, 9:40 tonight. And again, we'll just see. Again, we will know for sure tomorrow morning when the survey team gets in there. But again, Taylor's kind of backing it up. And again, you can see evidence. We're right in here about 9:45 or so that there could have been maybe a brief tornado in there. But that kind of tornado, we could never catch that and issue a warning. The warning was a severe thunderstorm warning. That was the radar at 9:46 when the damage was done down here at Utah. But here's the current radar. Taylor, let's go to our Skycam in Birmingham. What you got with that?
Not much in the way of lightning, which is,
Wow.
I mean, we've
Surprise.
yeah, not much going on. We are waiting for that leading edge to show up here. We're looking towards where that storm is coming from. So we're looking to the northwest here. So we should start to see the wind and the rain pick up here pretty soon as that leading edge moves in. But, you know, you'd think you'd be seeing all kinds of lightning with this storm. And I'm going to put on the radar here where we're looking at in the storm. And we've got 8 lightning strikes in the last 10, 15 minutes with this storm. So not much in the way of lightning. We're waiting for that leading edge to move through. It's actually going to be crossing over. I'll turn this a little bit farther to the west. It'll be moving in here pretty soon. I can show you the flag here if I can get a good shot of that flag we have on top of the Alabama Power Building. So we can get a good look at the, I'm going to have to go the other way. So we can get a good look at the winds, but got a lot of folks out there on the roads late on a Wednesday night, and things look fairly well behaved.
In the weather business, we never know what night it is. It's like we don't sleep. We don't know what day it is, what night it is. We just know that we're here. Again, Taylor, the good thing I can tell you is that I'm looking at a lot. I'll give you one report. Storms just came through the Fairview community in Chilton County. That's down southwest of Clanton. Not a whole lot of wind. More rain, lightning, and thunder than anything else. And that's great news. That's the kind of report we like. And again, that was Fairview, which is down below Clanton on the way down toward Billingsley. I will say that we are seeing more reports of trees down in the Flatwoods community on Flatwoods Road, which is in Northport. And again, you saw earlier the damage video that came out of there. Again, I'll re-rack this. Let's go to WEXO 5 real quick. Again, this is some of the damage from the Flatwoods community, which is in Northport, a little north of U.S. Highway 82. And this happened as the line came through Tuscaloosa. Again, the same line that caused the damage in Utah caused this damage in Northport as it came through. And again, whether that's a tornado or straight line winds, we'll know tomorrow morning. But these are very problematic to deal with. And again, it's one of our biggest challenges in the weather enterprise, dealing with these squall line QLCS tornadoes that are down for 2 minutes and they're gone. Down for 3 minutes and they're gone. By the time the warning goes out, they're gone. That's why we have to do a better job, I think, of messaging people that these severe thunderstorm warnings are a big deal on a night like tonight. We tried to highlight the potential for winds of 70 miles an hour, and that in itself is a small tornado, basically. But again, it looks like that could have been a small tornado in the Flatwoods community, which is north of Northport tonight, and that happened after the damage in Greene County as the line came through Tuscaloosa County. So back to the radar, and again, we'll hang here for a little longer, but these storms are clearly weakening. We're down to 7 lightning strikes. We've had no reports of any damage from Jefferson, and I would imagine the Weather Service will be letting this go, and we'll have the X marking the spot here soon. But again, for now, that line of severe storms coming into downtown Birmingham, and this would be, Taylor?
We're looking over 5920.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're seeing that line move in right now. So
I
that's
can tell
what we
by
got.
the fancy lights down here. This is downtown Birmingham. This is the power company camera, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, let's go back to that camera one more time. Again, that's what it looks like in downtown Birmingham, and obviously not a lot of people are out tonight, but it's pouring, it's windy, we have some thunder and lightning, and the storms are most likely below severe limits, more than likely based on the things we've seen here and the fact that it's come through a very, very densely populated corridor. We've had no reports of any damage in Jefferson County. If we had something going on, trust me, we'd know about it by now. And again, traffic moving along. We have power downtown, and it's certainly breezy, and it's pouring rain. It's not a great night to be out, but again, it looks like the storms are pretty much under severe limits in the Birmingham metro, which is a good thing. So let's pop the radar back on. And again, this line segment coming through Birmingham is producing heavy rain, as you can see here. And again, there's your vortex, and the bow echo is just, it's not much of a bow anymore. It's just kind of a line of heavy showers coming through Birmingham, up and down I-65 from Gardendale. Fieldstown Road is right here. This is Fultondale, of course, downtown Birmingham. So again, I do not expect this warning to be extended, and I don't expect the watch to be extended eastward either. We'll go down to the south. We'll check our line of storms down here. And as you can see, the Weather Service, they are not going to issue warnings for Coosa County and Elmore, as these storms have weakened tremendously, and they're basically fizzling, which is a good thing. We love for storms to fizzle because it's been a rough night. Looking at the damage in Utah, the damage in the Flatwoods community, it's been a pretty rough night. We don't want to see anything else like that. And again, if you're over here in Ashland or Lineville or Sylacauga or Talladega or Gadsden or Anniston, Jacksonville, Heflin, Roanoke, Wedowee, Alexander City, watching us in any of these places, Rockford, I think you're okay. And again, here's the object of the game. You need to get some sleep. I mean, we don't sleep in the weather business. We'll sleep when we're dead. But you need to get some sleep. You got to go to work tomorrow. You got to be there at 8 o'clock. You don't want to stay up all night and be like a zombie tomorrow. What you do is get a weather radio. They're really not expensive, and I know for some of you it is expensive. $30 is a lot of money. But it's a great thing to have in your house. Every home needs one. Those suckers are loud. They will wake you up if you have a warning. And we have one. If we have one, you ought to have one. And it's shocking to me how many Alabama households don't have a weather radio. You need one. The first thing that's going to happen during a tornado emergency, the cell service is going to go down, and your fancy phone won't work. You can't get on the tweeter, you can't get on the Facebag or the Gram, you can't do anything. And that weather radio will get the warning to you. So please consider getting one. They're all the big box retailers. They're not that hard to program. Taylor has a great video to help you program it yourself. It's really not that hard. But on a night like tonight, just go to bed. And if there's a warning, you'll wake up. You'll know that it's there. But I don't expect any additional warnings once we get past really the next hour, the next 30 minutes or so, when these current warnings expire here. And we'll hang in here for just a little longer. Again, another report from Chilton County, Thorsby, all is well. Had a little wind, heavy rain for about 15 minutes, a little noisy with thunder, but so far so good. Again, that's great news. All of the reports I'm seeing just don't look that bad. We've had some little breeze and thunder, lightning, and it's raining. So we're going to gradually phase back to regular programming here shortly. And again, we'll still watch these suckers. Understand, the one thing I learned years ago, the great Alan Moeller, he was one of the greats in our science in terms of convective, severe local convective storms like this stuff. Alan was a great teacher, and he always taught me when I was a kid, expect the unexpected. There's so much we don't understand about this stuff, and he is so right. I could write a book on unexpected thunderstorm events over the years. So even though it looks like everything is dying down, we don't expect any additional severe weather after midnight on the eastern side of the state. We'll still watch these storms carefully just in case. But again, for now, the rain is in. Let's put the watch warning map on really quickly. And again, we still have a few counties under a severe thunderstorm watch for a little bit. When's this expire, Taylor?
2 a.m.
Okay, 2 o'clock. Jefferson, St. Clair. Again, this will be canceled far before 2 o'clock. Jefferson, St. Clair, Shelby, Talladega, Chilton, Coosa, Elmore, Tauga, Montgomery, Lowndes. And that's it. No other counties are under a watch. I do not expect that to be extended farther to the east overnight tonight because the conditions just don't favor severe weather. So we'll go back to the radar, and once again, we are in the process of phasing down tonight. We still technically have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Jefferson. The storms have weakened below severe limits. They're not severe. They're producing loud thunder, heavy rain, gusty winds, but you need 58-mile-per-hour winds for a storm to be severe. We have nothing like that. We have heavy rain falling in parts of Coosa County, parts of Elmore County, heavier showers coming into Tallapoosa County, heavier showers in parts of Calhoun County, Etowah County, but again, nothing severe on this side of the state, and I do not expect these warnings to be extended here for Tauga and Lowndes over to Montgomery, and I don't expect that one to be extended. So, but one more time before we go, let's take a look at our Jefferson County storm. It's 11:35, and again, we apologize for whatever we've taken out here. I know that we had to cut off the news, and I always hate that because they work so hard on that. Johnny Cogden, our sports guy, never got on the air. Johnny, I'm sorry. He's an old Red Sox guy like I am. We have a good time together. But again, heavier showers now east and north of Birmingham. Heavier showers coming out here through the eastern part of town, Avondale, Roebuck, back up towards Center Point, Fultondale, up I-65. And again, there's still some lightning and thunder involved here. But again, this has come through downtown Birmingham with no issues at all. And the storms are clearly below severe limits. And again, the odds of additional warnings are quite low overnight tonight. People are asking, where do you get a weather radio? Big box retailers, I'll put it that way. We're not supposed to say, but most big box retailers like Walmart and Target and places like that, they've got those things, Publix and all those places. You can buy a weather radio there. They're really not that expensive. Again, they're $30, and I know for some that's a lot of money, but they have a battery backup. They work if the power goes out, and they're really effective. So consider getting one, and every Alabama home and business needs one. So we'll go back to the big view, and we're going to wind it down here. Taylor, anything else on your end over there?
Nope, I've been monitoring stuff. Haven't seen much coming in. Nothing too concerning, nothing too suspicious. The Chilton County warning is done. So that's good. You are in the clear now. At this point, you've got some rain falling, and you're going to have some rain for a little while, but the severe threat is over for you in Chilton County. You're still technically under that severe thunderstorm watch, so, we'll keep an eye on things, but overall, you're looking at just some moderate rain moving through here in the next couple of hours. And we do not have a severe thunderstorm warning for Coosa County, so this was not extended eastward. And just looking at the radar presentation itself, not looking too oppressive. We'll be here monitoring these storms for you, but these look very different than they did when they were first arriving in our state, as they are just now moving into that air that is more stable. The environment is just not as conducive for severe weather as it was across the western half of the state. We do still have that one severe thunderstorm warning, and that's going to last through midnight, so we got a little while to go on that. I assume that it will not be extended farther eastward into St. Clair County or Blount County, just because we haven't really had any damage reports at this point with that warning. We are still getting some reports in now from when the system was moving through Hale and Greene counties, and this system was much stronger at that point. But let's take a look here. I'll take us to some of our cameras. Take a look at the cameras and let's see what's going on in downtown Birmingham. And we have got that heavy rain. We've also got heavy rain falling in Hoover. I was watching that on our Galleria Tower camera, but not even seeing much in the way of wind at this point. So that's some good news. We are very happy that this looks like it's winding down. But of course, we'll keep an eye on things for you as we move through the next couple hours. I think these storms will really be done here in the next couple of hours. Certainly out of here before you are starting your day tomorrow.
Let's go to WEX 05 one more time. Again, want to show some of the damage. This is from the Branch Heights neighborhood down in Utah in Greene County. The Weather Service will be doing their survey work tomorrow to determine if this was a tornado or a microburst, straight line winds. The EMA director in Greene County tells us one person at one point was trapped. That person has been freed. We apparently have had no injuries despite this damage that occurred. This happened about 9:45 tonight, about 2 hours ago, as the line came through Greene County. And again, you can see some of the damage there was quite significant. And then on top of that, we had damage in Northport. Again, this is from Flatwoods, the Flatwoods community, which is north of McFarland, north of US 82. And that happened as the line came through. The same line segment that did the damage in Greene County produced this damage in Tuscaloosa County in Northport earlier tonight. And that was probably 10 to 10:15. So it's been a rough night on the western side of the state. But again, the radar showing good news in that we are basically done with the severe weather for tonight, for all practical purposes. Again, the warning for Jefferson will be going out soon. The warning for Chilton has expired. The chance of severe weather for the eastern side of the state tonight, very low. The warning is gone. X that thing out.
Woo, all right. Let's see here. Gotta get my pen tool.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Bingo. Now we can all rest easier. So it is 11:41. We have no warnings. The risk of severe weather is fading rapidly. We'll still watch, but again, for all practical purposes, let's stick a fork in this one. It's done. Stephen Quinn is in Greene County. We're going to have him, his report on Good Morning Alabama. That comes on at 4:30 a.m. We'll find out more about what happened down at Branch Heights. We'll also have reporters coming from Flatwoods the neighborhood in Northport to find out exactly what happened there. Weather Service survey teams will take a look at that. We'll have much more tomorrow. So on behalf of Taylor Serralo, I'm James Spann. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on ABC 3340.